I am Johnny Massacre, and welcome to my world. May your stay here be interesting. Tonight, the Supreme Court has ruled that individual judges do not have the authority to issue nationwide injunctions, delivering a win for Trump and essentially clearing the way for the God Emperor to do whatever the F he wants. Who is with me? Give me a hell yeah! So massive news that made me so happy. I thought I'd never see this and this wasn't going to happen. Trump now will not be stopped by random rogue activist judges in his attempts to launch his executive orders such as mass deportations and things like that. The Supreme Court ruled that activist judges cannot stymie the executive branch headed by Donald Trump anymore in a 6-3 ruling. And I've got a video for you here telling you everything you need to know about this. Absolutely amazing news. It means Trump will be able to push through his agenda unimpeded and get along with doing what the people voted him to do in a massive mandate. Bruv, check this out.
Thank you, President Trump. Thank you for fighting for all Americans. Americans are finally getting what they voted for. No longer will we have rogue judges striking down President Trump's policies across the entire nation. No longer. Today, in the 6-3 opinion, Justice Barrett correctly holds that the district court lacks authority to enter nationwide or universal injunctions. These lawless injunctions gave relief to everyone in the world instead of the parties before the court. As the Supreme Court held today, they turned district courts into the imperial judiciary. Active liberal judges have used these injunctions to block virtually all of President Trump's policies. To put this in perspective, there are 94 federal judicial districts. 5 of those districts throughout this country held 35 of the nationwide injunctions. Think about that.
Yeah, that's bonkers. So just 5 districts in the country were able to stop Donald Trump putting through his agenda for the entirety of the United States of America. Those days are over, bro.
And 35 out of the 40 opinions with nationwide injunctions came from 5 liberal districts in this country. No longer. No longer. These injunctions have blocked our policies from tariffs to military readiness to immigration to foreign affairs, fraud, abuse, and many other issues.
So do you remember that in the first couple of weeks when Trump was sworn into office, he was putting through his agenda at light speed? The man had been planning for the past 4 years when he was in purgatory like Batman in that cell owned by Bane to set the country right, and he was out of the traps like a famished greyhound, bruv, putting through his agenda one article after another. And then suddenly all these rogue activist district court judges said, actually, I'm going to cosplay Big Daddy Donald and I'm going to stop you doing what you want to do. I'm the actual president of the United States of America, even though nobody's ever heard of me. And that was really depressing, wasn't it? You thought, man, things could be so good, but this is a massive black pill. I guess we can't have nice things. I guess we can't have democracy. Nuh-uh. Big Daddy Donald, he can do whatever the F he wants right now. Let us go. Tell us, Pam Bondi, what can the Donald do?
The judges have tried to seize the executive branch's power, and they cannot do that. No longer. No longer. And on immigration, on a side note, today marks 2,711 arrests on these terrorists and these gangs.
So these gangs she's mentioning, do you remember the activist judges said, nuh-uh, you can't deport 500,000 illegal Haitians. Nuh-uh, you can't deport these. Actually, now Donald Trump can do it. This is absolutely insane. Because I remember when this happened, I was researching online, how can the Donald get around this BS? And I was despairing because it seemed to be the case that if you want to impeach these judges, you need 51% of the House votes, and then you need 2/3 of the Senate to vote that through, and that's just never going to happen. So I thought Donald Trump's going to be going to be stymied, and we're never going to get to see the full form Donald Trump. But actually, they found a way around it, and they just got SCOTUS to put these activist judges in their place. So amazing news. District court judges have been put in their place. Donald Trump now is free to enact the Big Daddy Donald agenda. Here's some more news on it from the Fox News.
News alert, we now have more than one major decision from the U.S. Supreme Court before it ends its term for the summer. The court has ruled 6-3 to limit the use of a nationwide injunction that temporarily had blocked President Trump's executive order ending birthright citizenship. Fox News.
Bro, so, okay. So they mentioned birthright citizenship. So that's one of the things that these activist judges attempted to stop Donald Trump from doing. Donald Trump tried to make it so that if you have a baby in the United States of America, even though you're not an American citizen, that baby immediately gets an American passport. This is some insane rule that Trump has questioned. This is tied into the 14th Amendment, and Trump argues that this was only ever made for slaves and babies of slaves in order to try to make amends for that dark chapter in American history. And it shouldn't apply to just someone like me who's going to come to America, like shag a few birds, and then my kid gets a passport. It's absolutely bonkers. This doesn't happen in other countries. Because of this SCOTUS ruling, Trump now actually is probably going to be able to push that through, or at least he's going to be able to go much further with it. All the other things he's trying to do, like mass deportations, it's an open goal, bruv. So here are some of the things that Trump now is going to be able to do. He can potentially end birthright citizenship. And he could totally and finally put to bed the vampire of USAID funding. Do you remember that activist judges said, no, you have to restore the funding to all these weird things, giving money to transgender chinchillas in Outer Mongolia? He doesn't have to do that anymore. Trump can now deport the 500,000 Haitian, I love it, into my veins, Haitian refugees that Biden brought in as a new voting bloc. Trump can now commence with mass deportations to third countries like South Sudan and Libya, even if it's not the country of origin of the illegal migrant. Trump can now deport Palestinian activist Mahmoud Khalil. Remember that guy? That guy leading all the protests and stuff for Palestinian activists, and he's some foreign student. The district court judge said, you've got to let him stay. Nuh-uh, but Trump says, he's getting out of here. Trump can now freeze federal funding for universities. Trump can now remove transgender tray individuals from LGBTQ from the military. Trump can now make it so that kids don't have to stay in lessons with LGBTQ indoctrination books. More on that in a minute. Do you remember the whole revocation of the LGBTQ and on-binary name passport policy? Well, now Trump can go ahead with that. Trump can deport the Venezuelan gang members, Tren de Aragua, all of that. So it's an open goal now. He can get on with it. I'm so ready for this because I remember, you might have forgotten, but I remember the first 2 weeks of this presidency. I thought, bloody hell, this could not be going any better. This is exactly what I wanted. This is exactly what I shadow banned my channel for 4 years, screaming about, trying to wake people up to the fact that we could be enjoying this. It was really happening. Suddenly got stopped and stymied. Bro, it's July, so it's taken basically half a year, and now Trump is free to enact his agenda. So I'm totally here for this. That is the main news for today. Trump's massive court victory, SCOTUS in a 6-3 ruling, stating that activist judges can't stop Trump anymore. There will still be challenges in court to Trump's agenda, but you can't have some random dude or a bunch of random dudes in one small part of America stopping the executive branch from carrying out its executive orders for the whole country federally. That's insane. And this has set a precedent. This has been, these activist judges rarely ever created these injunctions. It's a modern phenomena, and it's been happening basically since around Obama's time. But more of these injunctions have been taken out during Trump's second term in office than at any other time in American history, proving that this is just some dirty democracy destroying tactic by the Democrats. And now this precedent means that pretty much every American president going forward can get on with doing what they want to do, pretty much unimpeded. Absolutely amazing. And I love the way that Democrats fell on their sword here again. In trying to stop Trump, they've just enabled Trump more than ever, right? The ultimate example of that is when they tried to bankrupt him and he paid in cash, right? Like hundreds of millions. They tried to end his life. They tried to shoot him. That's what got him elected. And then they tried to stop his agenda with these activist judges. And not only did they fail, but now they've essentially codified forever activist judges not being able to stop any presidents. If they had left him alone, he probably would have got less done. But the fact that they tried to stop all the good stuff that the Donald was doing means that now he can do more of it than ever. And he's probably going to be more inclined to do it, to kind of push it through before the midterms when things could potentially change. So amazing news. And just get ready, dudes, because the next couple of weeks and months is going to be absolutely mad. Trump is chomping at the bit to enact his agenda. He knows time is ticking away. He has to do it for the midterms. And man, you're going to see just a whirlwind of change. You're going to see a whirlwind of change in America, and I'm totally here for this, bruv. Absolutely incredible news. Here are some more things that the Trumpster can go ahead and do, according to Eric Doherty. End birthright citizenship, ending funding for sanctuary cities. Amazing. Do you know what? If the funds dry up, they're probably all going to leave. Suspending refugee resettlement, freezing unnecessary federal funding. So all of this BS USAID money and federal funding that's going towards leftist causes, it can now all be frozen pretty much unimpeded. Stopping taxpayer funds for Anne's Tray surgeries. All these kind of things, they can now stop, which is just absolutely awesome, bruv.
Some of the cases we're talking about would be ending birthright citizenship, which now comes to the fore. That was meant for the babies of slaves. It wasn't meant for people trying to scam the system and come into the country on a vacation. This was, in fact, it was the same date, the exact same date, the end of the Civil War. It was meant for the babies of slaves. And
this is so interesting what Trump's going to try to do by revoking birthright citizenship. Essentially, it's this. This is the executive order that the Democrats desperately tried to stop the Trumpster from doing. Here it is, dated January the 20th, 2025. It says, any child born on or after February the 19th, 2025 to parents who are either illegally present or here on temporary visas, e.g. students, tourists or work, is excluded from US citizenship at birth. On June the 27th, 2025, the Supreme Court, in a 6-3 ruling, ruled that lower courts do not have authority to issue nationwide injunctions limiting them to plaintiffs who sued. In effect, the order could now take effect in 28 states that are not challenging it. Amazing stuff. So it's not just illegals, it's also people on temporary visas, it's students, it's tourists, it's people like me who could just come there. This has to end in America. You cannot have the most prosperous country on earth giving out passports willy-nilly to anyone who just knocks someone up on holiday, bruv. It's insane. You've got these crazy places in America which facilitate illegals and refugees, like having babies and stuff. And you have refugees incentivized to come in and just have babies because they're going to get their passport, and then they'll be on the socialist Democrat drip for life at the expense of the taxpayer and to the detriment of the average hardworking American. Just amazing stuff. I thought it was just for refugees and illegals, but it's actually for anyone who's going to come in there. Expect this to be challenged again later on. It might go all the way to the Supreme Court, but this is incredible news. If Trump can actually push this through, it will probably be his greatest achievement. That will forever stop the Democrats from importing a new voter bloc, which is obviously what they're trying to do. And Elon Musk is one of the first people to bring that to mainstream consciousness. What really needs to happen, though, is this to be retroactively put in place. So all the illegals that came in that had kids within the last 2 or 3, 5 years under the Biden administration need to have those visas revoked. That's essentially where we need to go with this. And do you know what? I wouldn't bet against Donald Trump trying to do exactly that. It's just common sense, because no other country allows you to go on vacation, have a baby, and then you suddenly get their passport. That definitely isn't happening here in Japan, bruv. But as I said, it should be retroactive. So Trump's absolutely killing it. There's going to be tons of deportations now. This is literally what the majority of Americans want. And it's, you just love to see it. You love to see it. I'm about this life. So regarding deportations, Florida is taking things to amazing levels. They are building a super prison, a new detention site, and they're literally doing the thing that I routinely joked about and shed tears laughing over, just imagining something like this, because I thought it would never be possible. It was just a fantasy. They have surrounded this detention center / jail with very dangerous animals and crocodiles. So Florida's new detention site is now fully enclosed by gator-infested waters, and it opens in 72 hours. Over 5,000 illegals will be held there. No fences needed when nature handles security. Do you support this new facility? See, I said this is what they need to do in the English Channel to stop the mass migration problem. They need to just put thousands of great white sharks in there. Thousands of bloodthirsty great white sharks. You need crocodiles as well. I said this for a long time. We just need to just create a plague of crocodiles on Calais, the beach in the UK. It's going to be so much harder for these people to get in. Florida, the madmen have gone and done it. They've created a detention center full of gators, and I'm totally here for that. I think there's a song that goes with this as well. Illegal stop. Man, this is absolutely incredible stuff. You know, there are basically no border crossings at all. We're pretty much down to zero. It's just amazing news. It's just amazing news. I can't believe this is actually happening. I never thought we'd be here. Massacre, mates. There are actually 0 crossings at the border. Check this out.
So much, President Trump. Illegal crossings in the border are 0 now.
0. Does everyone hear that?
So the journalist said to Trump, there's actually 0 crossings at the border.
Trump 2028.
Do you intend, President?
And then some dude some journalist shouted Trump 2028. Just things cannot be going better for the Trumpster. Now, other really cool news about illegal migration is that the big beautiful bill, as Trump likes to call it, that's about to pass, has had payments for illegals removed. Do you remember this? Some people out there were freaking out about the fact that rhinos allowed things in the bill that would continue to fund illegals. Well, apparently, in the big beautiful bill now, we are going to be defunding Medicare for non-citizens, refugees, asylum seekers. All of that's back in the big beautiful bill. Senate Republicans managed to work around the Democrat Senate. Parliamentarians' prior ruling per punch bowl. So now we need to fire her because she tried to sneak that into the bill. So things just get better and better and better. The Trumpster cannot stop winning, and neither can we, Massacre mates. I'm Johnny Massacre, and if you're just joining us, we're discussing the Trumpster's amazing week and SCOTUS' ruling, freeing him up to enact his agenda unimpeded by activist judges. But if you have been watching from the beginning, then stop your grinning and drop your linen, donate some cash, and let's keep winning. My neighbor tells me I have to change this text because it's so ugly. I might have to do that. Please donate on streamlabs.com/Johnny Massacre, patreon.com/Johnny Massacre, paypal.me/give me a hell yeah. You can also donate by clicking the currency dollar symbol near the live chat box right now, bruv. So please consider donating if you're enjoying this, because it enables me to make more of these episodes. Taxes are going up in Japan. Do you know how much I paid in taxes this month? Do you want to know how much I just paid in taxes? Let me tell you how much I paid in taxes in one solitary month. It was basically 40,000 yen, 60,000 yen, that's 100,000 yen, 120,000 yen, 140,000. I paid like $900 in taxes in 1 month, and I need to eat, bruv. So if you could donate, I'd really super appreciate it. I think it might be time to unleash your comments too.
Ajay says, Hell yeah.
Hell yeah.
Ajay says, what's up, Johnny?
What's up?
Ajay says, Milky in our house.
Yeah.
Milkitia makes things says howdy Ajay. Gary Von Mabach says hey Massacre and Massacre mates.
Yes, mate.
Ajay says, Gary in the house.
Yes.
Ajay says, aha. Arthur Shaw says, what's up everybody? Arthur
What's
Shaw
up, Arthur?
hope you all are okay.
Likewise.
Milkitia makes things says don't most countries do this?
They do.
Ajay says, Arthur in the house.
Arthur.
Arthur Shaw says, hey Ajay. Ajay says, have we started the fire Arthur? Yes. The fire rises. Milkitia makes things says this is just a way to relocate the gatters Lmao. Milkitia makes things says can your neighbor see the text Iral Lmao?
He can see the text. He told me it sucks. He's definitely a high IQ, like super smart guy. We were hanging out on the weekend. So in other news for today, the Supreme Court ruled on something else. So the Supreme Court, in a massive blow to the LGBTQ community, ruled that parents cannot be forced to make their children sit in on lessons with questionable LGBTQ books. Yes, this is real. So according to Rufo on X, he says, when I first started reporting on Anne's gender tray ideologies in the classroom, the establishment media tried to call it an X-say panic and smear my work as Anne's phobic tray. No more. Reality, and in this instance, biology, wins in the end. He's referencing a headline that says Supreme Court sides with parents who objected to kids' books on gender identity and sexuality. Supreme Court has sided with parents on objections to kids having to read certain books that contain stories promoting gender bending, saying you can change your gender and young boys wearing women's clothes and stuff like that. So Trump just cannot stop winning. Supreme Court, it's always 6-3 on these critical issues. It's always the same three whammon, the liberal justices, including the worst of the worst, DEI high Ketanji Brown, trying to support this stuff, like LGBTQ stuff and mass migration refugee stuff and all this kind of stuff. So many wins for the Trumpster. The Trumpster is also crushing DEI across the board. So the University of Virginia president has just resigned under pressure from the Trumpster. So you have all these kind of rogue judges and university staff and whatnot who are saying, no, I'm not going to go through with what Trump wants. I'm not going to stop pushing this propaganda on kids. I'm not going to deport these illegals. And these people are basically getting arrested or losing their jobs. I mean, things could not be going better. Thank you, Democrats, for trying so hard to get rid of Trump, because if you hadn't done that, none of this would be happening now. The world is healing. I'm about this life. No, it's not bloody awful. I'm about this life. That says Jordan. I can hear you, Jordan, out there somewhere, crying into your lion diet platter. University of Virginia president resigns under pressure from Trump administration. The Justice Department had demanded that James E. Ryan step down in order to help resolve a civil rights investigation into the school. The world is healing. Guess what, Massacre mates? The S&P 500 and NASDAQ have opened at record levels, with the Trumpster, God, Emperor, Agent Orange, Donald Trump at the wheel. Do you remember those people who said, oh, the tariffs are going to crush the economy? Well, guess what? Those tariffs are now bringing in way more cash, and the stock market is as good as it ever was. If we had listened to people like Ben Shapiro, who said we should just call the people up without publicly putting these tariffs on and tanking the stock market momentarily, then Trump would never have been able to negotiate. You've got to hit these people directly in the pocket. If you don't do that, people are not going to take your threat seriously. Trump did it. The tariffs are bringing in the cash, and now stock markets are absolutely booming. This is real. This is absolutely real. So check this out. Bruv. This is so tasty, this news. So according to businesstimes.com, S&P 500 and NASDAQ open at record levels on Trade Talk hopes set for strong quarter. Record highs. Dow Jones rose 201 points, S&P 500 20.3 points, NASDAQ Composite rose 86.7 points. This is according to Reuters. It's absolutely banging news. So stock market is booming. What does this mean? Well, according to Grok, this means gains of 50 to 60 billion in 7 months from November 2024 to May 2025. And it's a monster haul. Pre-tariff annual customs revenue was 70 billion in 2023. That's a 70 to 85% increase, or 30 to 40 billion dollars more annually due to the tariffs. And that is off the back of a record stock market. People said because of the tariffs, it will tank the stock markets. There was some turbulence. Trump told you to buy the dip, and now it's back to normal. It's actually better than ever with the tariffs in place. This is exactly what he had to do. Once again, if Trump had just done a phone call behind the scenes, these people wouldn't have taken him seriously. He put the tariffs on, and he fucked the stock market, and people were paranoid they're losing their money. That's why they came to Trump, and it got renegotiated. Trump's absolutely killing it. Grok says this is amazing income in the sense of unexpected windfall. Pre-tariff, no one saw 50 to 60 billion this fast. It's like finding a gold mine. Trump's hardball, e.g. China deal, steel tariffs, paid off without immediate blowback. Absolutely banging. I said this from the start. I don't know a whole lot about economics, but I could tell the Trumpster he's not going to do something to tank the stock market. That's his existence, is making a banging stock market and being big bollocks, big boy Barry businessman. He's all about that life. So I knew he wouldn't flop on this, and I knew he was playing hardball. That's how he does it. He does hardball to get people to come to the negotiating table, and then he'll turn off the pressure if they do what he wants them to do, which is pay their fair share. Funny. Democrats always talk about paying your fair share, and now all these countries are, and Americans don't have to pay their fair share. Someone else can do it. You don't hear them celebrating Donald Trump because it's not really about paying your fair share. It's not really about the issue. It's always about the revolution and their socialist BS. So this is amazing. Donald Trump is making the stock market absolutely banging. How good is this? According to AI, in the grand scheme, it's, and I'm quoting, it's fucking solid. 50 to 60 bill revenue with 20% stock gains and 2.35% inflation is a unicorn. Grok is really, really apprehensive about making stats inconsistent and jumping the gun. So this is big. This is a big drop from Grok. Grok says pre-tariff you get growth or revenue, not both. Trump's tariffs hardball turned a policy gamble into a cash cow without tanking markets. Huge new upticks. It's basically absolutely banging. This shit's good, really good in the grand scheme. Tariffs are pumping 60 to 50 bill into the feds with stock markets, S&P 500, NASDAQ at records, and inflation super low at 2.35%. A trifecta no one predicted. Amazing. It's at least amazing income with growth intact. Trump's pulled off a rare economic hat trick, but it's not invincible. Trade war escalation could flip the script fast. Mate, don't bank on it. Trump knows what he's doing. Absolutely incredible stuff. So yeah, tariffs are banging. And it turns out a top leading global economist just did a 180 and says Trump's tariff plan may have outsmarted everybody, bruv.
Did a 180 and says Mr. President, a leading global economist just did a 180 and says your tariff plan, you may have outsmarted everybody with it. What is your message?
I love this. I love this question. This is the favorite. This is the best question I've ever been asked because I've been going through abuse for years on this. Because as you know, we're taking in hundreds of...
I didn't abuse you. I had the faith from the beginning, mate. Even when the Shapiros didn't. I had the go back and watch the videos.
Billions of dollars. No inflation whatsoever.
But Mr. President, what is your message to critics who think your tariff plan will cause a recession?
I think they should go back to business school. It's so obvious.
Little Kitty makes things says who is going to dish out the dough to make Johnny do an entire game and screen in Jordan Peterson's voice.
180 and says your tariff plan, you may have outsmarted.
Okay, so there you go. So yeah, like leading economist did a 180 and said Trump maybe has outsmarted everyone. Who is that leading economist? His name is Torsten Slock, highly credible economist known for his extensive experience and influence in the financial and economic sectors. Here's a breakdown of his credibility and how to pronounce his name. According to Grok, it is... He's the chief economist at Apollo Global Management, one of the world's largest alternative investment managers with over 700 billion in assets management. So I think it's actually Slurk. And you can see the article here regarding this top economist doing a 180 on Trump. He says, is Trump a genius? Top economist and tariff skeptic admits president may have outsmarted us all on the economy. Excellent news. Torsten Sluck, chief economist at Apollo Global Management. So Trump is absolutely smashing it. And do you know what? He's just done a trade deal with China. Now, this is very secretive, but I am predicting this is very big and it's going to be extremely lucrative. To just announce it but not give you the details wouldn't really make sense if there was nothing there. You'd have egg on your face if it suddenly turned around and didn't go the way you wanted it to. You saw that with Trump, with Iran and Israel peace deal. He announced it publicly and then there's a few missiles fired and he F-bombed on the White House lawn. So he's not someone to make a fake promise that big, only for it to be hot air. He ain't no Biden, bruv. So I think it's going to be a wicked trade deal. I think they're ironing out some final things, but it's good. Like once that gets locked in, oh my God, mate, stock markets, boom, baby, absolutely exploding. Trump is killing it on the economy, as you can see there. Doge, even without Elon Musk, is still killing it. So we have seen the biggest monthly drop in social security handouts in history. Right now, look at that. Absolutely insane social security drop. The Democrats will say, it's killing people. No, this is literally all fraud. This is literally all fraudulent payments. As Elon Musk said, he gave an extreme benefit of the doubt to all of these social security payments. It was only in cases where it's obvious cut and dried fraud where they're removing it. So you're now seeing the biggest monthly drop in social security benefits on record. And this can only be good for inflation. Speaking of which, in America, it's currently at 2.35%. Its lowest ever in 3 years, bruv, since March 2022. Jesus Christ, dude. Like back then it was, in June 2022, it was 9.1%. That was against the backdrop of OVID-K and the Ukraine energy shock and all of that. 2.35% against the backdrop of massive Trump tariffs, bringing in mega bucks and a record stock market. What is not to like about the Trump? There is nothing not to like. The only thing not to like about him are the things you're told not to like about him by legacy media if you're still consuming that, or if you've got a terrible algorithm on X. Trump is killing it. Egg prices. You want to talk about egg prices? Let's talk about egg prices. I'm happy to talk about egg prices. Egg prices. They cost $3.27 per dozen, down 44% from $5.87 in January 2025. So you don't hear Democrats talking about the stock market anymore, or egg prices, or inflation, or any of these things, because Trump's doing a really good job on it. And remember, the Democrats said Trump's going to cause World War III and he's going to crash the stock market. Actually, no, he's doing quite the opposite. So Trump is absolutely killing it, whatever way you look at it, bruv. And I'm here to bring you that news. Are you happy with that? Because I certainly am. It's looking good. It's looking really good. This news is dedicated to Massacre mate and paying member, a true Massacre mate, Gary Von Moberg. I know he's going to like this news. Republicans now have a huge war chest approaching the midterms in 2026, and it vastly outweighs the Democrat funding and war chest. According to America First Insight, Donald J. Trump's war chest is $1.4 billion. Republicans, $393 million. Democrats, only $303 million, a quarter less. Combined war chest of Republicans versus Democrats. GOP, $1.8 billion. Democrats, $300 million. Whole lot of mercy. Dude, Trump's approval ratings are also banging right now. If you look at any of the key issues like Iran, bombing the nuclear infrastructure, the economy, all this kind of stuff, deportations, Trump is absolutely killing it on every front. He's got the funds. He's unchained now, activist judges in his wayside. The tariff thing's stabilizing. Record stock market. Inflation is lowest ever. Bro, if the Republicans cannot F this up and take even more seats, who even knows? In the midterms, we're in for an absolute treat. Do you know what else is happening? Because Trump can do these deportations, do you know what that means? The census for a country, the population includes illegals, and that dictates how many seats each state will give Republicans or Democrats in Congress. So when Trump does all these deportations, it means the population will go down in certain areas, which means that Democrats will potentially lose seats in Congress. It's absolutely insane. This is why the Democrats are so against deportations, because it means they get less seats in Congress, and also it means that they get less votes because, well, we know a lot of sketchy voting day goes on. So, man, there's so much potential win coming up. Rhinos and Republicans might find a way to mess it up. Yeah. But going into these midterms, oh my God. And dude, we're just getting started, man. The Trump agenda is about to explode without these activist judges. This could be insane. Trump might actually save America. He might save the world by proxy. This is insane, man. Trumpster's absolute beast. Beast mode from the Trumpster. Love it. So, my friends. What else is going on in the news? What other treats can I bring you? RFK is now removing food dyes from all major products. We just cannot stop winning. Compare the last Department of Health Secretary Rachel Levine to RFK. How much winning is taking place? Never get tired of winning. Absolutely never get tired of it, even a little bit. Well, there's other news for today. Trump has overseen a Rwanda peace deal. A Rwanda peace deal. There's a war that had been going on for 30 years and Trump just ended it. You don't hear the media talking about this because Trump is an absolute saint. He's a beast. They don't want to admit it. Check this out. Bruv.
Why not? Why not Canada, by the way?
Why?
I mean,
Because this is about a different subject right now.
So, like, they want to talk to Trump about Canada. They want to undermine, like, this amazing achievement.
This is right now actually a much more important subject. We just ended a war that was going on for 30 years where 6 million people died. So don't ask me a trade question on Canada. This is a tremendous breakthrough. In a few short months, we've now achieved peace between India and Pakistan, Israel and Iran, and the DRC and Rwanda, and a couple of others also. Serbia, you know, was they were getting ready to go to war.
Dude, most peaceful president ever. Under Biden, we had like the Afghanistan nonsense, Taliban back in business with American military hardware, billions of dollars worth, and Russia, Ukraine, that happened as well, and October the 7th. Now the adults are back in the room, bro. This is so good. How can you dislike this person? He's not even a politician. He's just one of us, bro. He just wants what's best.
With a group I won't even mention because it didn't happen. We were able to stop it, but I have a friend in Serbia, and they said we're going to go to war again. And I won't mention that it's Kosovo, but it's Kosovo. But they were going to have a.
So Trump just ended a war in Rwanda, which is absolutely awesome. I'm here for it. And there's a list of all kinds of wars that this guy ended I'm going to bring out in a minute. Rwanda's foreign minister just gave huge praise to the Trumpster for his efforts there, ending this war. Check this out.
Because it's the signing of a peace agreement between Congo and Rwanda.
Congo and Rwanda.
And a conflict that has been going on for 30 years.
30-year conflict between Congo and Rwanda. Trump just ended it.
There has been many mediation, facilitation in the past, but none of them succeeded. And
Biden did not give an F.
It's because of your leadership and your steadfast commitment to this process.
Bro, like, look what the power of America can do if it's not just being weaponized against its own people to cement one-party rule of a bunch of radical leftist communists. It can do so much good. I'm here for this. It can end wars between Rwanda and the Congo, bruv. All kinds of things.
Also a new approach of economic integration, regional economic integration.
That's it. Basically, look, you can make some money, chaps. Stop beating each other up.
Is important to allow Rwanda and DRC working together, because this is a very rich region with cross-border trade, with the minerals, with natural wealth. So with the US standing side by side with Rwanda and DRC, we believe that we will achieve long-time peace. And we also believe that, as my colleague from DRC stated, it's important for the United States to stay committed, because today we signed, but now we need to implement what we have signed in order to open this new era you were talking about.
Okay, so basically Trump ended a war, and that's really, really awesome. Most peaceful president of all time? Quite possibly. Just absolutely amazing stuff, really. Even Putin came out and said that relations with the US are starting to improve. You know that the Democrats want a forever war over there. Check this out.
But overall, thanks to President Donald Trump,
It's Putin speaking.
relations between Russia and the United States are starting finally to get better. In some respects, of course, we still have issues diplomatically, but the first steps are there. We're moving forward. We have contacts between our major agencies, between the State Department and our foreign ministry, between...
Mate, Trump is he's in super beast mode. He cannot be stopped. Wow, this is so, oh man, it's seriously, it's gonna get even better than this. It's gonna get even better. You just wait, Massacre mates. So in other news, big news, huge news regarding Tesla and Elon Musk. The world's first autonomous delivery of a car. Can you believe it? This Tesla drove itself from Gigafactory, Texas, to its new owner's home 30 minutes away, crossing parking lots, highways, and the city to reach its new owner. What a time to be alive. Here's a video of the Tesla driving itself to its new owner. It's operating robo-taxi software, something everyone will be benefiting from very soon. And have you noticed how the Tesla terrorism has suddenly stopped when the intelligence agencies announced that they were going to investigate? It's almost as if all of these protests, whether it's Watermelon, Palestine Pay, Brain Rot Crew, whether it's the Tesla terrorism, whatever you want, it's almost as if it's just paid for, whether by foreign actors, billionaire activists like Soros, or a combination. You be the judge. So this is cool, you know, Elon Musk getting back to what he does best, which is making bank and business and innovation. It's amazing, just because he wouldn't turn his company into a Democrat-controlled proxy and use it to benefit the Democrats to further cement their authoritarian rule, they tried to bankrupt him. They tried to investigate him. It's people like this that put America ahead of every other country. China isn't doing it like this. China isn't launching those rockets, bruv. China isn't going to Mars. You want to stymie the most productive businessman in the world? That tells you everything you need to know about the Democrats. Trump rewarded this. The Democrats tried to destroy it. So really cool. I mean, this is freaking mad, dude. Look, the car's just driving itself. All we do is win. So I'm loving this, bruv. I'm loving this self-driving vehicle all the way to the owner's house. Let's forward it a little bit. Here it comes. Outside his apartment block. Teslas, what can't they do? Even dox the owner. Very cool. Mate, the car drives to you. What does this mean for deliveries of packages and stuff as well? Like, delivery van's going to be out of a job. Someone told me they won't, but I'm sorry, but they so will. Here's the guy. This is the owner of the first ever Tesla that drove itself. The first ever vehicle that drove itself to him. There you go. So Tesla absolutely killing it. Very wicked stuff. I'm liking that video. Here's the dude who got it. His name is Jose, I think. And there he is in the middle. Cool stuff, huh? First ever autonomous delivery of a vehicle courtesy of Elon Musk. And when he's not delivering your car to you autonomously, he is curing blindness. So Elon Musk's blind sight is coming along at blinding speed. This is going to restore people's vision who completely lost it. Check this out, Elon Musk recently.
Our next product is blind sight, which will enable those who have total loss of vision, including if they've lost their eyes or the optic nerve, or maybe have never seen, were blind, even blind from birth, to be able to see again. Initially low resolution, but ultimately very high resolution, and then in multiple wavelengths. So you could be like Geordie LaForge in Star Trek, and you can see in radar, you can see in infrared, ultraviolet, superhuman capabilities, cybernetic enhancement, essentially. And then along the way, this should help us understand a lot more about consciousness. What does it mean to be a conscious creature? We'll understand vastly more about the nature of consciousness as a result of this. And then ultimately, I think this helps mitigate the civilizational risk of artificial intelligence.
So he's coming along, man. It's not just Tesla, bruv. He's got all kinds of things going on. Blind sight. He's also got something that's going to help people here again. I was seeing some news about that recently. Elon Musk just cannot be stopped. But really, the main news today is the SCOTUS have ruled 6-3 that activist judges cannot prevent Trump's agenda, and you're going to see mass deportations. You got the Big Daddy Trumpster cosplayers. Like, do you remember this guy? Do you remember this judge? Boasberg, who stopped all of Trump's best deportation efforts. He is now officially out of the way. Absolutely huge news. Essentially, what Trump is going to try to do is strip illegal aliens from the US census count, the population count, and that has huge, huge implications for congressional representation, electoral college votes, and federal funding. So, for example, California has so many illegals, and this, you can look at this up on even the wokest AI. All of those illegals count towards the census, which means California has more seats than other states. They could lose a whole bunch of seats when Trump strips illegal aliens from the census count. That's what he's going to do. That is what this is gearing up to, because Trump knows the Democrats trying to stack the deck with illegals. It's amazing that so many people don't know about this. All the illegals count towards the population, which means that state gets more funding, more of your taxes to support them importing voters, and means they get more seats and more votes. So it's easy for them to pass or deny laws put through in the House and ultimately the Senate. That's where we're going with this. So that is the news today, my friends. Massive SCOTUS rulings left, right, and center. Trump killing it on the economy. Inflation down. Tariffs killing it. Stock market booming. Egg prices down. All that kind of stuff. Massive week for Trump. Hope you enjoyed this episode of Johnny Massacre's World. Hope you enjoyed it. Time to unleash your...
Ajay says, internet tough guy in the house. Ajay says, now where is Victoria? Can someone bring her back in the house and join your stream? Milkitia makes ting says, Johnny is finally caught up on the egg prices lol. Internet tough guy says, I never lost faith on Trump since he came down the escalator and started calling out Mexico Mayo. Milkitia makes ting says, God, it's hard not to admire that guy, he loves his country so much. Gary Von Mabach says win never gets old.
Exactly.
Milkitia makes ting says also, howdy SL. Internet tough guy says meanwhile on the left they are arguing amongst themselves whether Trump is Adolf Hitler or not. Internet tough guy says and I'm not kidding. Gary Von Mabach says busy keeping the faith and sharing the same. Milkitia makes ting says, Boasberg looks like the Moonlight Man and I'm scared now.
Who's that? S.Al, you still in the comments? S.Al, are you new here? What you got in your picture? It's like some kind of donkey or something. So yeah, mate. Woo! What an amazing day, huh? What an amazing day! What an amazing day of news. I remember just enjoying the first 2 weeks so much and thinking this is really happening now. We actually do have some kind of democracy, and it's in the world's biggest country who everyone else has to follow. And then it just stopped. I got so blackpilled, and I thought, man, they need a 2/3 of the Senate vote in order to impeach these judges. But they don't. They just needed a SCOTUS ruling. This is so good. If Trump can remove, if Donald Trump can deport all these illegals unimpeded, if he can end birthright citizenship to not only refugees and illegals, but also just to randoms, tourists, students, if he can remove illegals from the census and reduce the amount of seats in the House of Democrats and also remove a lot of federal funding going towards them. And icing on the cake, if he can retroactively remove birthright citizenship from illegals, especially over the last like however many years, he will literally save America. Like, that's what has to be done. The team he's got with him is absolutely firecracker, bruv. I don't know where he's got them from, but it's a team of people you can feel they know what the F they're doing. And this is the thing, like the Democrats, just thinking of this now, they might have to give up DEI because you cannot compete with Trump's team that's obviously just pure merit. That's like top tier fucking 1,000 IQ big brain mofos over there. They got the job because they're the best of the best. DEI can't compete with that. The only thing they can do is kind of what you're seeing now is just try to relentlessly psyop everyone to vote for their ridiculous Marxist BS and like make fake protests to try to make it look like they're the majority even though they're the minority. Their DEI cannot compete with Trump's team. And I've said it before many times. I said it today as well. If they hadn't tried to get rid of Trump and bankrupt him and remove him from this earth, like literally remove his life, and if they hadn't done all this dirty shit and spying and like just all this nefarious stuff trying to take him out during his first term, we never would have seen how dangerous they are. And the pendulum would never have swung back like it's swinging now. It's amazing. I tell you what needs to happen next. This shit needs to happen in the UK pronto. Rupert Lowe today, the one guy who is like has the same policies as Trump and know-how, he started some kind of new party today. It's called Restore. I think it's called Restore. And if he needs to start implementing this in the UK desperately needs this. The UK is doing the opposite of what America is doing. It is in exponential freefall in the throes of Marxism. Everything is Marxist in the UK. Like everywhere you look, the judicial system, parliament, transport, sport, healthcare, like NHS, education, everything, like even the train lines, the way that they're named, and the opportunities and jobs given out to certain demographics, like ACIS Ray policies. The UK is absolutely in the worst spot. So we need a bit of this Trumpster magic. But seriously, buckle up, because now that these activist judges are out the way, Trump, like I'm telling you, Trump and his team and the agenda, it's full. It's gonna be a fucking like cascade of shit, even stronger than before. Because now they've been held back for the last like couple of months by these bastards. It's gonna be a cascade of wickedness in the best possible way. And I'm about this life. Chase Truck, are you new here? Yeah, God bless America. I might get my American flag out, bro. I feel like it's nearly time. I feel like it's time to get the American flag out. Oh, Lord of mercy. What wonderful news, huh? What a great day. To be a lover of liberty. Cheers, everyone. Cheers.
Milkitia makes things says keep that dust mask on. Gary, that COPD is no joke.
Business coming back up to speed, Gary. I had a mad weekend. I injured myself on Sunday. I tried to do a 3-hour run on Sunday, and after 1 hour 50 minutes, I basically broke down an injury. But I compared it to going to Mount Doom. This was the end of the 3 months of training and dieting hell, and this was it. We finally at Mount Doom. I'm going to go to Mount Doom and throw the ring into the fire. And I got to Mount Doom. I ran for 90 minutes, which means 90 minutes back. So halfway of the 3-hour run, I threw the ring into Mount Doom. But unlike Frodo, I didn't get the eagle to help me. The eagles were circling, but the eagles were 90 minutes away back home, like near the edge of Mount Doom and Mordor. So I threw the ring into fire, and then I had to run away from the lava. But the lava enveloped me and just took me, and I got injured, and I basically, my plan died. So I didn't quite get rescued by the eagles. but I did throw the ring into Mount Doom, and it's all good. And I did overeat a tiny bit, and then I went to sleep. And as I want to do, I wake up after 40 minutes, and I had the worst cramp ever. It felt like there was insects under my skin. It felt like these little twitchy things moving around, like suddenly all over in a few places on my calf. And then suddenly it blossomed into this horrible cramp, and my foot just wrenches down like that, and I have to yank it up. It's like I'm possessed by a demon or something. It was so bad in both calves. I had to go and eat more, but I don't regret it. I think I was slightly up for the week, which is the first time I've done that in 3 months, but my body was screaming for it. And yeah, as long as I diet sensibly over the next 2 weeks, like 6-pack is 100%. It's going to be locked in. Like, it's already pretty close. We're already pretty close. I mean, that's nearly there. Look, it's nearly all skin. I mean, I've pretty much done it. If I lock it in another 2 weeks, it's absolutely going to be shrink wrap. So I'm pretty happy with it. It's been absolutely it's been the craziest 3 months of my life. I've completely reset my dietary habits to such a degree that now I'll not eat for a day or even a couple of days, and it's not even a big thing. Where some people couldn't even bear the thought of not eating for a day. So I can calorie cycle. I can use food and carbohydrates like a weapon, deploy them when I need it. And in order to lose the weight, I had to do conflicting things. I had to have a calorie deficit, but burn double the calories I normally do. That's completely conflicting for a strategy. And I would eat no carbohydrates, but do exercise that requires a lot of carbohydrates, like weightlifting. I was doing all conflicting dieting and training together in order to lose weight. And I became an extremist. So when I would overeat, because I was literally, there was times my mouth went numb. I couldn't feel my teeth and I was swaying, and you're almost on the border of hallucinating. I would overeat to survive, and then I would punish myself. It was like a purification, like punishment ritual as well, in this mythos that I had to create in order to motivate myself to complete this, turning it into a story. I'd punish myself and like purify myself, not eat for 2 days or even 3 days, and do a heavy training session before even eating the end of 3 days. And then sometimes I'd overeat, and the only way to rectify it was to overtrain. So instead of 1 2-hour run, I'd do 2 2-hour runs, or once I did 3 2-hour runs within 6 days, and they were all brutally hard. The last one, I literally couldn't walk up a set of stairs on a footbridge. I was so glycogen depleted. I would abuse stimulants as appetite suppressants in order to try to finish the diet, and it worked for a while with coffee and cigars, but it got to a point I was so lacking in nutrients and glycogen and overtraining so much. The stimulants then have an opposite effect. They don't work anymore, and they hit your central nervous system like a nuke, and you can nearly hallucinate and just get it messes with. You can imagine what that's like. It's been absolutely insane. But I'm not gonna lie, it's really hard, but I got some of the most satisfaction of my life doing these extreme things. Coming through these extreme trials, the rush you get afterwards nothing is like that. Nothing feels better than working that hard and coming through it successfully. You feel like an absolute monster. It's been amazing. It's been amazing. And I do remember, the 3 2-hour runs in 6 days, and the 2-hour run in the middle of that, sandwich in the middle, that was also with a 2-hour brutal gym day, and I slept for 1 hour, and the next day in blazing sun, had to work in the sun under pressure for like 5 hours, slept, then did the final 2-hour run. That was absolutely insane. And I remember trying to get a 6-pack before. I don't ever remember it being this hard. Because I'm 42, it might be something to do with my metabolism, or the fact that I've consistently eaten like quite a lot of sweets and junk food, which I get away with because I've naturally got a high metabolism over the last 5 or 6 years. I don't remember it being this hard. That's what she said. And it's been it was really stubborn halfway through, but towards the end it started to cascade. And where I feel that the fat really flew off was just the intense 2-hour runs. And you can't cheat that shit. There's no medicine you can take or button you can press to cheat that. It's like, man, you're going to do 3 hard 2-hour runs in 6 days, and also doing like fasting days and stuff. the fat was flying off with those. I don't know how I didn't get injured, but it's been mental. Don't want to get ahead of myself. Don't want to ever go back to that old way of loads of junk food. But at the very least, I've learned a lot about dieting, eating, nutrition. There's simply no way to cheat it. And I've given up sweets, which is great. And I don't think I'll ever touch one again for the rest of my life, honestly speaking. A sweet drink, a chocolate, a pudding, a cake. It's never again. And probably never, I'll never eat, never eat bread again. Rice sometimes. I would do it not because of the addiction, but I had to do it to survive, and it was okay. But yeah, definitely no more sweets, puddings, chocolate, like any of that stuff ever again. Refined sweets, like those pastries. Those days are over forever. So I'm happy for that and my health. And it's been mental. And you were here for some of the days, so big up everyone. I see Papagnola in the comments, who's in Nicaragua, who's definitely stocking up on some good cigars. What is happening over there, my man?
Gary von Mabach says, I wish most of it is donated to help others, but God provides abundance. Pertniello says,
nice.
Greetings from Nicaragua. Hope all is well with everyone. Milkitia makes things says Pert. What are you doing in Nagacuga? Blink twice if you've been kidnapped.
Oh wow. The Milkstar. What a wonderful day. Wow, good times, huh? Good times. Bruv, we're live on the X. Did you know that? We're live on X, which is very cool. We're live on X. Where's the X chat?
Niello says, vacation, just fishing, surfing, grilling, and cooking all day. Hahaha Milky.
But we've so got to hang out because it's my dream to go fishing, and you know how to fish. Oh lord. Need to get in there. I bet Milky can fish. Milky, I sent your bro a message. I think I'm going to link with your bro.
You'll eat sweets one day, and it won't remove your six-pack.
That's the dream, is like once every couple of months. 2 weeks so much. I'm thinking this is...
I've only ever been to Mexico. How is it?
Once every like month or couple of months, if I could eat some sweets, it'd be really nice. Just once in a while, right? In a restaurant, but I don't think so. I don't think so. Papagnola in the house. Papagnola, we got to finish the night rains, bro. Are we locking this in? Pap, I know you're on holiday, bro. Come on, cut your holiday short so we can play Night Rain. Didn't they make the Clonkosaurus 3 phases where there's a whirlwind and you need to do some jump to get in there? We're live on the X, bruv. Mate, the headline is so good for this. X headline. Activist judges reigned in by SCOTUS. Trump is now free to do whatever the F he wants.
Go slay some tuners. The country is super poor. We went to the meat market and they had guards with AKs guarding the meat.
Bro, we can fish for tuna. That's some hardcore shit. And sharks, man, that would be so wicked. You can get a boat?
Milkitia makes things says, I've been fishing. I don't like it lol also. Finally, Johnny Lmeo. Ajay says, finish Nitrin, then continue with SH2. After SH2, play a Steam game.
Sounds good to me, mate. Yeah, I feel we should do Silent Hill 2 and get back in that momentum.
Tuesday and we will get on it after.
Wicked, bro.
Gary von Mabach says fishing is amazing, relaxing and rejuvenating.
Dude, it's my dream. It's my dream. But my dad won't take me. I've asked my dad at least in my life, at least 30 times, and he just won't do it. 2 Christmases ago, I said, oh, Dad, like, I'm coming back for Christmas. Can we...
Ajay says, oh, by the bay, after Nitrin, finish Bloodborne.
I said, can we go fishing? And he's just like, no, it's too cold, it's too cold. I was like, fuck it. Dude, let's just go fishing. But he won't do it. He just won't do it. I really want to.
Milkitia makes things says, nor run straight through the Silent Hills.
It should be Silent Hill, right? Because we had momentum there, and it was so meme-worthy. We need to strike while the iron's hot. Bro, James got a babe. James got a babe. Pyramid Haid. He likes the grape.
I can't believe you've never been Johnny.
Basically, I've been once or twice. Pocket Fluff, how you doing? I've been once or twice. My dad took me once. I remember. And then another time we went trolling off a boat. That was really fun because it's easy. You just hold a line. The fisherman sets it up. But that gets me... Dude, I'm in Japan. When I was running and there's people fishing at Haneda Airport, like, everywhere. I really want to get on that. Yeah, okay, yeah. Well, it's going to be Silent Hill 2, Bloodborne, and then Night Rain, then Bloodborne.
Unfortunate my husband is the type to fish in rain.
Massacre members, I see a distinct lack of custom emojis in your conversations.
Ajay says, Victoria in the house. The woman, the myth, the legend.
Victoria, it messes with my head that you're not called Victoria Rockwell. I'm begging you, put that back. Victoria the Menace Rockwell. I'm begging you. You know you could do a name change now.
Milkitia makes ting says, howdy pocket fluff.
Fluffy pocket. Man, I was having the best. I'm going to see your brother, Milky. I might go to your brother's for 4th of July. When he mentioned that, I thought that I've never done a 4th of July before. That actually might be a really good idea. That might be a good idea. Yeah, I think I'm going to see your bro. I think I'm going to see him. So your bro smokes cigars, right? Mate, look how shredded I am. Look at that. Mate, it's time for the shreddies. Look at my fucking arm. Look at that. It's fucking mad. Look at that. Bro, I got the shred, bro. It's a flex.
Oh, fun, bring sparklers and a copy of your...
Bro, you can't buy that. You can't buy that. So, like, when I pull a weight, you can see all that. I don't know what it is, but you see all the lines up there. It looks fucking... Look at that.
Johnny, I'm currently playing Detroit. Become Human. Very good game so far.
I need to start doing some fighting. Like, I need to have a bout.
Easily distracted by his own body Lmao.
Yeah. Mate, I just... Vanity. I work so hard for this. I work so hard. Sparklers. Wait, okay. Can we just get a few things straight with your bro? There were certain things you said. You kept saying, "Oh, you have to hang out with my brother," and you sarcastically said he totally doesn't like this, but he actually did like it. I was trying to think what it was. Like, what were the things that I definitely loved that your brother likes? Was it like some type of video game, or was it a type of food? Or was it a political opinion?
As a guest character in Teklan 8 season 3.
Right, I'm ready for the I'm fucking ready for that. Bam, bam, bam. I'm ready for that. I'm all about that. Bam, bam, bam. I'm ready. So, by the way, you know that song that we played quite a few times on streams? Dun 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 dun. It's actually a banger. I know I say this all the time, but it actually is a banger. I played it next to a song that got to #1 in the UK by Dizzy Rascal when I was DJing, and it like they totally fit together. It's super high quality, and I played it at this party on Saturday, a very small thing in this little private party bar. And like when I played it, all the people, like the way they were moving and dancing, I thought like, this is so fucking sexy, this song. And all the good shit I ever made is at that tempo, 120 BPM. I've just got a little video. It's nothing special, but I got a little video of some new friends and they were dancing to the song. And I'm going to call it Clonker because the bass is clonk and I love clonking. But you can see, look, like they didn't know this is my song, but look how people react to it. This is a reaction, bruv. Look at the guy, like he's dancing kind of sexy with the girl. You can imagine some kind of like slow motion, like sexy, like self-deprecating parody for a video. Look, what's over here?
No, I don't. Once in a while,
Look. He's kind of like player, girl. He's got the what? It's like yeah, and like I think this song could have a really funny music video, just being sexy, but just in a kind of just a parody of, and kind of you know, the whole player lifestyle or something like that.
Ajay says Tekken 8, and with Johnny's rage art, he'll throw a big loudspeaker at his opponent.
There you go, clonk, dude. Whip out the clonker for the special art. Dude, so I put this part in that song where it's just I put these chords, these staccato chords that are very subtle. You can't even really make out what they are, but they're obviously there and they're adding to the track, and they add like a slight kind of dark bit to it and just the perfect progression. Check this out. Let's do a bit of this. I'm telling you, this is going to be a hit.
The shit is banging. TikTok, bitches, what you forgot? Johnny Massacre, #1, always at the top. Every night, Johnny boy gets it right. TikTok hoes, keep it tight. Banging. Running back and forward, 'cause I'm causing you heartache. Thinking I could leave you any second of night. Never been the one with the emotion like who's the love. Maybe
So this is the new part, right? It goes to the chorus and listen to like the darker chords, very subtle.
This shit is banging. TikTok, bitch, stop. Take off that top and drop it like it's shit hot. Banging. This is Britpop mixed with house and hip hop. London City trick shot.
It works. It just fucking works. And then just repeat. So I'm going to take out the middle part of this song. The middle part, it just changes too much. And the middle part was this. Like this part I like.
This shit is banging.
This goes back to the intro. The thing, it's not a bridge because it's the intro, but I don't know. It's for an electronic tune. Having like bridges and all that stuff doesn't really work. I want it to be like a hybrid electronic and pop. This bit I'm going to take out.
We keep it raw and we keep it dirty.
It's just like, what? It just changes to it. So I'm going to take that out and just keep it more simple. So quite hyped about that. Clonker. It is literally called Clonker with a C.
Milkitia Makes Ting says, is this out yet?
No.
I want to use it for short form content, lol.
You can. I mean, yeah, you can. I can just send it to you. So where's the clonking, everybody? Where's the clonking, yo? Where is the clonk? The clonk emojis are not being used. Look. See that? There it is. Clonker. Big hulking clonker, bruv. So, yeah, I'm going to go away now. I said I'd give you 5 episodes a week. Last week was 3. This is 1 this week. So I'm going to have to give you 7, I guess, this week. I'll definitely be back tomorrow. Wednesday will be the gaming stream, I think. I think it's going to be Wednesday, possibly. So thank you for joining me, everyone. If you enjoyed the episode, please donate via the $ on the YouTube chat box or streamlabs.com/Johnny Massacre, and I'll wake up feeling mad happy.
By the way, Johnny, have you heard of a PS1 game called Fluid? It's a rare gem that I think you'll love.
Maybe.
Milkitia Makes Ting says, do you have a YouTube Shorts using it? It can help promote it before it's released.
Yeah, we'll get on that soon. We're going to finish it all up soon. Thank you, everyone. Mate, 4th of July coming. That's going to be massive. Much love. Take care. See you tomorrow, yeah? Cheers.